This is More 94, a service of More FM Company Limited, New Providence, Bahamas. Reach our studios at 242-341-6673 or our corporate offices at 242-361-2447. Email us at media@more94fm.com and find us on the web at www.more94fm.com. We're the Bahamas Superstation.
The thoughts, views, and opinions of SLYTalk are strictly those of the host and guest, and not necessarily those of the management and owners of More 94 FM. This is SLYTalk.
Relationship blues? Perplexed? Confused? Bothered? Hurt?
Yeah.
Sounds like you could use some SLYTalk. Here we go. More Entertainment is here on More 94.9. It's your girl, Sly, and as always, you are tuned into the hottest relationship talk show on the airwaves, SLYTalk. It's always a pleasure to have you. If you missed the last show, head on over to our YouTube page to catch all previous episodes at SLYTalk. That's one word, SLYTalk. Last week's topic was money. When is it okay for the lady that you're dating, be it your girlfriend or your mistress, to ask? A must-listen for males and females, super controversial topic that aroused many different feelings and viewpoints as it relates to money and in a relationship. Gotta say thanks to our sponsors over there at Allen Young & Co. for hanging with us. They have been kicking it with us for a bit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have a room full of ironing to do or your home is in need of a good spring clean, hubbies, if you want to treat your wives, this is also an excellent way to do so by giving her a week off. Hire a maid. Give AYC a call today. 816-8187 is the number. Sorry, 816-8171. That's 816-8171. Additionally, still hanging with us is the Switcher House for the best lemonade, iced tea, and fruit punch. The Switcher House is your girl's favorite choice. The yummiest flavored beverages, homemade. That slap your mama kind of flavor. The numbers to dial are, ready? 424-0445. That's 424-0445. We are also sponsored today by Dapper Entertainment. Dapper Entertainment presents Pure Wetness Pool Party this coming Emancipation Day. That's August 7th in the Pink Mansion, Westridge, Atlantic Drive. Gates open at 2. Get advanced wristbands at just $15 by calling 802-6788. That's 802-6788. Your wristband entitles you to one free drink. There will be bottle service and lots of great giveaways. Security will be strictly enforced. SLYTalk encourages you to join in as a couple instead of alone. And if you cannot listen together, ensure that his or her radio is always locked on 194 for each episode of SLYTalk. If you have a friend you feel may find today's discussion useful, go ahead and call them or WhatsApp them now and get them tuned into More 94. For the rest of you tuning in as a pair, hop on in that car for that mid-afternoon drive, take out those wine glasses, and let's start the show. Turning the attention to my panelists today, we have Annie, who is married. Say hello, Annie.
Hello.
Hello. Simone, who's divorced.
Hi, everybody.
Terrio, divorced.
What's up?
Paradise Abaco. Many of you may know Abaco from the Facebook following Real Questions Women Want to Answer. He is also divorced.
I'm sexy.
And of course, I'm your girl, Sly. I'm happily married. If you would like to call in during the show, remember the numbers to dial are 341-6673. That's 341-6673. Or you can send us a WhatsApp message at 816-817-8187. That's 816-8187. Or as always, hit us up on either of our social media handles, Facebook or Instagram at SLYTalk, all one word, SLYTalk. Anyone who is married will confirm that there are a lot of misconceptions. Some think once they get married, all will be peachy and will glisten like the diamonds on their left hand forever. O long, amen. Truth? Not so. There are so many things the wife and husband have to remember to do that come relatively easy for the single person, because there's less time invested and therefore you don't have the opportunity to get complacent in most cases. Marriages are never easy, it seems, but we figure if you could tap into the brain of your wife and hear her thoughts, sometimes it may make it a little easier to make better choices where she's concerned. I can't tell you how many men have said to me, I just don't understand this woman. Wouldn't it be nice to tap into her thoughts for a change? Just for my married and soon-to-be married men, Sly brings you all the answers to the questions many of you didn't even think to ask. In this episode, we explore the many things husbands forget to do that they really don't know make or break the structure of their marriage. Married fellas, listen up. Those about to be married in the coming months, listen up. And if you just want to make it right, get tuned in. Wives Today on Play. Topic today, wives, what we need, what we want, and what will get you left behind. Boom. Going to do things a little bit differently today and pull a question immediately from our Facebook platform that's already lit. Remember, if you want to call in, the number to dial is 341-6673 or WhatsApp us at 816-8187. Casey asks, I just got married a few months ago, 8 months to be exact, and it seems all the red carpets have disappeared. Seems we argue so much more now than we used to, that we live together, and the flowers have stopped coming. He calls regularly still, but I understand now what wives mean when they say that they feel like a trophy wife. It feels like now that he has me, he doesn't feel the need to do special things anymore. Simone, what do you say to that? Having been, in a marriage before, what do you think why do you think men find it so hard after marriage to keep up with making their lady feel 100 all the time?
Well, I think that a part of it is that real life sets in, and when you're dating, if you're not living together, then the time that you spend together is always going to be special and different. You're going to take the time to think about what are the things that I could do on this next date that we're going to have fun. When you start living together, and that's every day in and out, and I don't even know if it's so much complacency. It's almost as if, how do you keep up with all of those expectations daily? I think, so couples probably need to just talk about what they're going to do to keep the spice.
But doesn't it take out the spice though when you discuss things? For instance, here's my take on it. If you when you were dating or whatever, those things that he did were very spontaneous. Those things came impromptu. You never knew they were coming.
Impromptu to you, but he probably was planning.
Right. So that's my point. So me getting in on the planning stage now, you're saying, now we discuss it, we sit down and we talk about it. That takes the element of surprise away, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does. So, I guess what you're saying is that you, as a woman, you would want to always be surprised in some way, as opposed to just planning. Your face is like,
you know what I mean? Like, you always, you want that person to be the same type of person. Right, be the same type of person that they were when you dated. It's not realistic, but you'd like to know that you don't always have to say, well, babe, my birthday's coming up, or hubby, it's Valentine's Day coming up, or whatever. You want to feel like that's in the front of his mind, and that you're still his A game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was married to someone who didn't believe in Valentine's Day, and dated people who didn't believe in that as well. And their rationale for it was fine, to say, well, you don't need a day to show somebody that you love them and care about them. Okay, I get that. But what are you doing for the 364 other days?
Right.
And so I get you. I get that people need to. There needs to be spontaneity in relationships. Right. I get that. But I also think that a part of the reason why we grow apart is because we don't talk about these things that may seem like a small thing, but turns out to be a big thing. Because for us as women, if we're not vocal, we can hold it in, we can stew, we can say, I all right, but you know you ain't all right. And he can say, well, what happened to you? Because you're supposed to know as a man what's bothering me. And those are the things that break down relationships.
But see, that question, that initial question makes me think, women, what's the what's the role of a wife? Because it seems that a lot of, like you were saying, you got to be spontaneous. You know, you want to be surprised all the time. But that goes back to that leads me to think many women don't know what the role of a wife is. So my question to the women on the panel is, what's the role of a wife?
What does a woman's role have to do with your responsibility?
No.
Bump that. What does a woman's role have to do with you making her feel special? What does that have to do with it? No. I need you to answer that question.
That's what I'm saying. If you knew your role, you wouldn't feel the need to be surprised all the time because you would know your role. So my question, hold on.
I didn't get you down. I need you to answer that question. What you trying to say?
So what you need to tell us then is, what is your view as a wife?
No, answer my question first. As a female, what do you think a role of a wife is, Annie?
I think the role of the wife is there to support her husband, and as the Bible says, to submit to your husband, but that is to submit under his authority and his guidance. Now, if you're not going anywhere, who's going to follow you?
And I think all that comes out in the initial stages when you're communicating and getting to know the person and going forward there. So you're right. I think you should help your mate, but a lot of women don't know their role, so they tend.
Why does the role? Why are you bringing it up? Why the role?
No, the role of the role is that bad treatment.
If you're confused on what you're supposed to be doing, then what's going to happen now is you're going to get confused and frustrated with the relationship early on. But if you know your role is to help your husband and not only to be there to get all the rewards and gifts and stuff.
No. When we dated, let me get you straight. When we dated, you wasn't worried about all of that, were you? You were worried about, the only thing you were worried about is pleasing this young lady. Hi, let me speak. What the issue for you was, I have to win this girl, I have to win her heart, and I have to make her mine. Yes? You ain't no stumbling blocks in your way. If you saw another dude on her doorstep, you was like, my bro, watch out. I hear. Right? Hold on. Yes or no?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So, why all of a sudden now that you have the ring on it, it matters what her role matters and what all that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I feel like you should still step up to the plate and treat your wife like the important woman that she was before and now that she's married.
No. See, I think you're missing what I'm saying. I agree with you. You should continue to make your wife feel special, but at the same time, you need to. Okay, I got you now. We need to plan the stages on where we're going from here. I can't be sitting here only trying to get you gifts and hide gifts from your pillow. No,
really? I can't be.
It's just the mindset. It's the mindset that the man has of what a girlfriend is and what a wife is, and that's why they treat a girlfriend a certain way. And a wife.
Exactly. But that might go back to a woman might be feeling you're still at the girlfriend stage, but if you're thinking in the future, you'll be thinking, okay, I'm no longer his girlfriend now. I got the title. I'm his wife. Okay, we're gonna build a future together. I don't need that dinner every day or every other week. We try to save towards the future. We try to get property or whatever. So if you know your role, you know you want to help your husband because you have somewhere to go.
Right.
So
what you're saying is that that because you plan it or trying to plan ahead or whatever, I should be more understanding and be okay with you being, not as performing. Not
performing. But if we both see, and this is where we, as a wife and husband, you have to be on the same role. I mean the same plan. Because if you know where we go, if I came to you. And I said, listen, this is where I want to go. I want to take my family. This is where I want to see us in 5 years. You wouldn't be wilding out and getting angry that I didn't get, No,
but it still matters, though.
No,
I don't think you need to.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm simply saying that if we both know where we're going, we know what we have to do to get there. And you wouldn't be upset over the small things because you know that at the end of the 5 years, you will achieve that goal and you'll be extra happy.
Can I say this quickly?
Go ahead.
I just don't think that good treatment should stop.
Boom.
Regardless.
I never said that.
No, here's what I'm saying.
Say it again.
I just don't think
did I ever say it should stop?
I just don't think there should be a break in it. I mean, if you are dating a person, you should do something that you're able to afford on a consistent basis. If you can't, If your normal day you can't afford Versace, then don't take her in Versace.
I agree.
Because whatever you start, you got to finish.
I agree.
I mean, and there's very small things that you could do. You could carry her to ice cream to get ice cream. That's how much
you could make a tuna sandwich. You could make a tuna sandwich,
Anything.
You know.
It don't have to be no big bombastic type of thing.
Right, everything doesn't have to be, uber romantic and movie-esque.
But what about today's women who seem to be more materialistic? Who will say, well, okay, you take me out of my house to buy me tuna and ice cream, I could buy that for myself.
I don't know that that's the type of woman that you would marry.
No, in a case like that, she is called a cutter. And you should do exactly that.
No, but I blame.
Leave them where they are.
I blame the man. If you should have established all of that in the initial stages from the break. If you dealing with a woman and you see a mindset, I wouldn't even take her seriously to even take her down the aisle. That's stopping right there.
The woman is a wife.
Exactly. So I blame the man. If you haven't established that this woman is purely materialistic and she only wants you for your money, I have to fault you as a man. You didn't do your vetting properly, in my opinion.
Annie, what do you think are some of the things that a woman needs in a relationship? What do you think?
I think a woman needs affection, attention, support, and security. If she doesn't feel secure in her relationship, she won't give 100% of herself.
Right. Wow. Do you feel do you guys feel that sometimes husbands just deliberately forget, or is it forgotten over time? Like, when I say deliberately, I don't want to say, what I want to say is, do you think that they're complacent and they just become very comfortable in their setting, or do you think that it's just forgotten over time? They just forget to do things.
I think it's twofold. Okay, sometimes some men forget things over time because usually men are breadwinners. You put your concentration elsewhere on building and developing and giving the family whatever they want. Sometimes you forget. Now, complacency and the intent to forget usually comes because most women only give one gift all year round, and sometimes
what's that gift?
It's a little box that it's not a Pandora downtown box, but it's a box. But I think that when a guy gets to a point where you put real thought into him, because your gifts for women are complex, and like we going in muckamucks to get you a $15 shirt. Y'all want Yerman, and then you want a set of that. And you want this.
Not all women.
But hold on, we ain't gonna talk about this. Y'all and women like what they like. Y'all know how y'all go. Y'all don't wear certain things.
As your wife, we should be treated a certain way. But
as your husband, there should be thought into my gift. Do not bring me a tie or a shirt that I had the color in that just get bleach on it or something. You're just trying to replace it. I didn't need that in the first place. But if I wanted to, I would have replaced it myself.
We also have to establish that men and women, we communicate differently as well. I mean, usually when if my wife comes to me with a problem, I'm listening with the intent to solve that problem. But sometimes, a woman may just want me to listen to her, and so she gets frustrated because I'm here. Okay, get to the point. What you want me to do? And that may frustrate a wife as well. Whereas the man may get frustrated with the wife by saying, "Okay, what you crying for? I trying to help you now." Like trying to hurry the wife up.
That's not sensitive though.
No, it's just. And that's I don't think it's insensitive. I think we men and women communicate differently. Right? Men. We want to solve the problem
and move on to the next thing.
Whereas women sometimes just want, and that's why Joe is coming to play sometimes, because Joe is a listener, whereas your husband, he's so like he said before, we're so busy trying to solve the big problems, we sometimes forget about she just only wants to be listened to.
Right, and sometimes not just listened to. Some women want to be held. Things that are completely removed from the marriage. Currently, it is my opinion that you can diffuse a huge situation. I'm talking a catastrophic situation by simply embracing your wife. And when I say embrace, I mean holding her or identifying with her tears and saying, okay, listen, let me, draw in on this emotion. Go ahead.
But you have
an itch.
I think let's start early on with learning the love languages of your spouse, in my opinion. If you learn I think it all goes back to communication, in my opinion.
You talking about these Bahamian women?
I think, hold
on, when they get mad, they want.
I'm just saying though. But if you know your spouse, you should know. You should know what to throw off. What
I want you to do, right? I want you to find me that unicorn, right?
No,
let me just help you with this one. Just help me with this one. Find me a Bahamian woman that as soon as she gets angry, she wants you to hug her. You find that, and let me see how much teeth you got. Let me see how much teeth and skin you got after that. Like right after that.
If you know your woman, you know what makes her laugh, what ticks her off.
I know
what you could do.
But that doesn't work when she's mad.
Right,
no, but you also should know. But you should also know when she gets mad, what to calm her down or whatever as well.
And even if you don't know how to calm her down, allow her to calm down. However that happens. And then you embrace her.
But they were talking about you hugging her when she's angry. That may not have, that's the wrong context. Because you're looking to get yourself, hurt. You understand? I think what Sly is talking about is that knowing those moments where, like Annie said as well, if she just needs someone to listen to her, she just needs to vent, she needs to, and then she wants to be held or something like that. But you gotta, back to what Abigail was saying, you just gotta know her and know what she wants at whatever given time.
And I think that's where Joe comes in, because if you decide as my husband that you are going to make the job priority, and you're going to make the bills priority, and all the other things priority, the materialistic things priority, and you're not going to say to yourself, okay, here's the plan that I have for my wife this week. I'm going to carry her for ice cream, which is going to cost me $3.25. I am going to rub her feet, which is going to cost me $0. I'm going to run her a bath on Friday, which is going to cost me $0. And hold on, hang on tight. And at the end of the week, I score with some of Pandora's box.
So, hold on.
That's still not enough.
All of that in front of you.
Hold on. It seems that there's a top-heavy relationship where the man pretty much is doing everything.
No.
Hold on.
The males will get their opportunity. We're simply
talking about... You're talking to put down the box at the end of the week. That's my goal.
No. I'm not saying that that's your trinket or your prize. I'm simply saying that that's a part of your plan. Your plan. You being the male.
I think the first mistake you had is where Joe should never be nowhere in this equation.
Joe comes in when you fall off, right? Help me out with that.
No, Joe should not fall. No. Joe, I think you should sit down. If this a marriage we're talking about, this ain't no boyfriend and girlfriend no more. This is for the long haul. I don't think you should allow. When you start allowing other people into your relationship, it can be the demise of that relationship. In my opinion, I think we were discussing it the other day. You should always include your partner first and foremost when it comes to your feelings before you go outside your marriage, because that person might be jealous of your marriage and want to destroy it. What do you feel about that, Annie?
Quite possible.
Yes, I think that's very true. If you don't sit down and discuss with your partner how you're feeling, they'll never know.
Are all partners approachable though?
You should know how to approach your partner before you walk down the aisle and look at your pretty dress.
That's fine, but suppose I didn't.
That's the
answer the question. Suppose I don't.
You then 10 points behind the game if
you know what I find as well though on that point. A lot of women aren't honest with their partner, like with their men. And when I say that, I mean as it relates to their emotional boundaries, their preferences. Y'all play hard to get, but then you got to understand, like, after you do that, you can really just say, hey, now listen, I know I told you I was like this, but I'm really not. I know I played hard, but I'm really a sensitive person. Because you find that a guy that met you being the tough girl, he doesn't have it within him. He doesn't have the wherewithal to process the new sensitive crying in the corner. As far as he knows, when you get mad when you're always dating and you get mad, you used to tell him, go away, go far, go take a flight, get lost. I don't want to see you for at least 3 hours. So when you get married and you get mad, he's going to do the exact same thing. And you know what that's really going to do? It's still going to force you into the arms of Joe per se, but it's really on you, because you have to then come back and be honest and say, listen, hey, I know that I gave you this perception of myself when we were dating and when you were courting me, and I knew you paid attention to it, but I don't want you to feel like you didn't pay attention in this marriage, because that's not who I really am. Let me show you who I really am on this sensitive side. You don't want to just trickle that in. You want to give him the program so that he understands exactly who you are.
Okay. It's only going to get better from here, guys. Trust me when I tell you do not want to miss what's coming up on the next end of this break. SLYTalk returns with more relationship talk after these words from our sponsors.
For more than 10 years. Legacy continues. Bringing a fresh perspective, objective views and opinion, thought-provoking and insightful real talk.
Listen, you can't see the vision of a new leader if you don't give him the chance to show you the vision.
Professor Rudy Taylor.
I'll be your host
every week.
Weekdays from 10 to 12. Call and call you live.
Good morning, Professor Tinker.
What you saying, brother?
Man, welcome home.
Professor Rudy Taylor is on More 94.
Parliamentary Act of 1991. You tell me 1991 today has been like 20-something years, and ain't nobody put some glasses on and reread this thing over and say this don't make no sense?
Oh, try something new, man. You got these young fellas there, these young little snappers. You holding them back with these old farts, man. Throw them up to the yard with the rest. You guys are awesome. I really like you.
More entertainment is on More.
Feast your eyes on Marco's ultimate Italian flavor. This great bundle won't disappoint. For only $24.99, your family can enjoy one large 2-topping pizza, a hot stuffed 2-topping calzone, and a refreshing 2-liter soda. Baked fresh daily and loaded with quality ingredients, you're guaranteed to enjoy this amazing deal. With 4 locations in Nassau and 1 in Freeport, order our irresistible ultimate Italian flavor today. Marco's authentic Italian pizza.
Can't get enough of More 94?
Now you can take More 94 with you anywhere you want to be with the More 94 app, available in the Apple App Store or in the Google Play Store.
Download the app today. Get more entertainment on More 94.
Right in the palm of your hand.
Audio stream all of your favorite shows on More 94.
Send voice notes.
Get up-to-date news feed.
More 94 exclusive videos.
Access Facebook,
Twitter, and Instagram right from your smartphone.
More entertainment is definitely on More 94.
And it's now available right in the palm of your hand.
Download the app now.
Download the app now and take More 94 with you. More 94, the Bahamas Superstation, now in the palm of your hand.
More 94.
The entertainment capital of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
We built a better radio station to entertain you.
That's only the plan. That's only the plan.
More entertainment is on More 94.
Want to ask a question or contribute to today's show? The numbers to dial are 341-6673 or toll free 1-242-300-6673. WhatsApp a message at 816-8187. And we're back. Want to remind you that today's sponsors are Allen Young & Co., Dapper Entertainment, and The Switcher House. If you're just joining us and want to be a part of the conversation, the numbers to dial are 341-6673. That's 341-6673. You can also WhatsApp us a message to 816-8187 or hit us up on the Facebook and Instagram handles at SLYTalk. That's SLYTalk, all one word. Our topic today is wives. What we need, what we want, and what will get you left. We have Stacy on Facebook. Oh, I think we have a call. Do we have a call? Hi, caller.
Hey, caller. How you doing?
Thanks for calling SLYTalk. Who am I speaking to?
I'm speaking to Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, it's the second time I'm listening to y'all show, and I like the show.
Super. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Thank you.
So how do you want to contribute today?
Today I just have more or less a question, I guess, for a topic next week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it was more or less that if you have a female friend,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The female friend will, when you come over, she'll ask, why is your hand swinging? Can you bring me some food or do this, do that? But the minute you ask her, she automatically, and you have a girlfriend, she'll automatically show that girlfriend in your face. You go to her, she has some food, be like, hey, can I have some of that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She'll be like, hey, you could need to go to your girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so what the question is, why do females feel that if they have a male friend, he automatically has to bring something to the table?
Well, boy, that was actually our topic last week, Abigail?
But that's the whole...
You can hang up, caller. We're going to answer answer your question for you.
Okay.
Sure, you're just a male friend?
Of course, that's code for selling, sweetheart, to me. That's code. And of course...
But he's trying to say,
Well, that's part of the deal, though. I mean, if you have a sweetheart, that's part of the role of a sweetheart.
That's part of the negotiation.
If the sweetheart, I mean, as a woman, if you accepted me with my wife or my significant other, you need to keep that enticed, give me some incentives for me to stay there. I would assume, right, to be a part of this love triangle.
So it is a paid deal.
Pretty much, indirectly, I think is a paid position.
And I'm thinking that you can't legitimately give her what you give your girlfriend, which is dates and time and all this stuff. So you need to bring the food.
Yeah,
you got to bring the food.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to go, Daniel. Thanks for calling, buddy.
I have a question for the women in the studio. I mean, what causes a woman to walk away from a marriage? I mean, because usually a woman just don't walk away. What causes a woman to walk away from a marriage after putting so much time and effort into her marriage? What will, at the end of the day, be some of the reasons to make her walk away?
I think Simone would be the best.
Y'all can ask Annie too.
I want Annie to answer, and I want Miss Sly to answer as well.
My husband might be tuning in though, so.
Give me a few reasons why a woman would walk away from, from a marriage.
Looking at me like that. Okay, so for me, I'll go for personally why I left, because I left. So, why you getting your water though, Ontario? So for me, it was abuse, and feeling like I lost myself, who I was, as a person. Infidelity would be...
What type of abuse, if you don't mind me diving in?
It was more mental and emotional. So it was mind games and put downs and oppression, really, like restricting me from being myself and doing things that made me happy and flourish as a person, whether that's professionally, spiritually, in many different ways. So, and you may think that, you just want to have your own way. It was actually things like this, like say coming on a radio show like this. I mean, this is actually a situation. So, a male friend was hosting a show and invited me to come on to be a co-host on the show once a week, and that was a problem.
An issue,
right?
Because he felt intimidated. You think?
Well, and the thing with emotional and mental abuse is that it's a manipulation. So they'll never be really honest. So they'll come from a different angle and then make you feel like you're doing something wrong. So it would have been more like, for instance, it was not a gospel station. And so we were like heavy in the church and all that stuff.
Okay.
So they're like, how you could go on that, right? So how you could go on that show and they playing all that kind of music and you supposed to be a Christian.
Got you. So you got a guilt trip going on.
So what do you think men take women for granted?
I do. I think that once, as you say, you get them, it's almost as if, and I experienced this as well, it was almost like a mental shift from when you were dating to when you actually get married and they become this totally different person.
I guess the question I really want to ask is because you have men listening out there who may not even know they're doing it. What are some of the signs, Annie, Simone, what are some of the signs that could prevent men from taking their wives for granted? Because sometimes you're so busy.
When you say the signs, what do you mean?
Like, what are some of the steps a man could do not to take their wife for granted?
Well, to answer that question, I think the biggest thing that I found was that men shift into a very caveman mentality, if I may say so, when they get married. Some men, I don't want to say all, some, because I don't like generalizing. So some men shift into this caveman mentality. So for instance, when you are a single man, you can cook, you can clean, you can do your laundry, you could do all of those things. You would take care of yourself, blah, blah, blah. Now that you're married, you say, well, I have a wife to do all of those things. And so you stop doing all those things all together, because why should I cook when I got you? You know, as opposed to thinking of it as sharing those roles and responsibilities. And I think this is where the socialization has come in.
Society has made men to feel as if women are that's the role of a woman, though.
Absolutely.
Because I think Abigail mentioned that earlier in the game. He was like, what is your role as a female? And that determines what he did as a male for his woman. And I don't know if I actually agree with that.
But you would agree that rules are important in a relationship, though.
Those are very important to a relationship. I don't think it's important to what you do for your wife.
But those stereotype roles are what's hurting us. Because we have divided ourselves to say that men supposed to do this and women supposed to do that. Right. And so, you know, men... It goes
both ways.
It does, because women put a lot of pressure on men to provide and protect and all of that other stuff.
But we also provide, though. So I don't know if it's as heavy a role on
the pressures are nonetheless, though. The pressures are still there.
The pressure is there.
A lot of women want a man to be that stoic, stern person, forgetting that they're human as well. They break down too. They need nurturing as well. And I think we mentioned it in the first show, where if a man tend to break down and be vulnerable in front of his woman, she tend to look at him and say, "You're weak. You."
I don't think so. I think that she's not used to.
Right. Exactly. In the same way that you were talking about. So I think for men, when men take women for granted, is forgetting that women get tired, especially if it's a working woman, and you gotta work and you slogging it out on the job, and frustrated from work, you gotta come home to kids, you gotta help them out, and kids need constant attention. And then even in that, sometimes, you know, men look back and say, and I see where we've been socialized to believe this. No, I'm not generalizing, I'm just
another
saying.
Another issue that a men, you know, we suffer in silence, and there's another issue that a lot of men don't say. Stop for a second. Thank you. There's another issue.
Even though I didn't get to finish my point, but it's okay.
That's fine. There's another issue.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
There's another issue that a lot of men suffer in silence with this. When children come into the picture, a lot of women tend to put their children before their husband. I mean, and most husbands understand, you know, we have to provide for our kids, but it shouldn't be that the husband always in the back burner, always. And I hear husbands complain, but they may not complain to the wife. But
I think ideally, though, you know, they're not able to fend for themselves, and so the ideal is that you being the mother and the caretaker of the children.
But that's a role.
And it's a shared role.
It should be a shared role, exactly.
If the woman takes on the majority of responsibility for the kids, then yes, she will focus the majority of her attention on the kids and not on her husband.
Right.
So if he's sharing the role with her, then of course she has that time to spend with him.
And I also think if you feel as a woman, you know, the role of a woman is very, very heavy. In my personal opinion, I think that women take on a lot of different hats, and you know, I feel as if a man is able to take some of that or alleviate some of that pressure, a woman is then able to direct some of her attention to him. Now, y'all done curling up y'all nose like, you know, but I think if you have a woman who's very stressed, someone who is, you know, has 8 hats on, and her husband is able to take at least 2 or 3 of those hats off, she's then able to say, okay, now I could relax, I could, you know, plan a nice evening for me and my husband and go and actually spend some time with him.
I agree, but it's all come back to you and your wife or your spouse being partners in a marriage, as opposed to you trying to take on so much by yourself. You could get frustrated and even resent your partner if you do that. So
very much so. I really would like you to reiterate that.
No, but it goes to me. It goes back to communication, because after coming home and I having a rough client or having a rough day, I may, you know, take it for granted my wife in the kitchen slugging away after her having a long day. But sometimes all it takes for, you know, the wife is to come and say, honey, I had a rough day.
But sometimes it's not necessary to say that. It's kind of
listen to me. I'm not giving the husband right to just go slump down in the couch watching television, but I'm saying it only takes 1 second to nudge him, and then it goes either way. To nudge him and say, listen, honey, I really need some help in the kitchen. And if that husband values you and loves you, he was like, okay, sorry, let me take the kids, let me put the kids in the shower, let me something.
So Stacy from Facebook says, hi Sly, I absolutely love your show. It's my third time listening, and I find it so helpful in my own relationship to be able to hear similar situations, and that how I feel is not isolated to only me. I am a major fan of your show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Stacy. My husband tries very hard to meet my needs. I feel like the length of a female task list is what makes us more emotional, in need and deserving of a back rub. When you compare the wife's task list to that of a husband, he has leisure moments when he can throw his feet on the couch and get comfortable. But the longer a wife is a wife, the longer her task list becomes. I used to be just a wife. Now I'm a wife and a mother. So before, when I used to simply pleasure him, cook for him, run his baths, and found time for conversation throughout the day, I now have to squeeze time out of that time to feed my kids, spend time with my kid, clean house, cook, and then still find time for him. It would seem that because my task list gets longer, he would try harder to make me feel appreciated. But it seems like the more we do, it's the expectation, so it goes unseen and unheard. Women are designed to be Rubbermaid tough, so we push ourselves to be strong and not to complain, but we are doing ourselves an injustice by pleasing him always and not demanding that he do the same. Essentially, doesn't that erode the marriage? Now that's a good one.
I think it does.
Yeah, I can agree that it does erode the marriage. Also, I mean, in the case of, I don't want to say the way that she termed it, her kids, but I think that, you know, marriage is really a full, obviously it's a union, but both persons should recognize each other's contributions. Both persons should recognize each other's effort. And if you fall in, you know, I think husbands should cook. Like, you should do laundry and the other stuff.
I think it should be a partnership.
It's really a partnership.
I think it's a partnership. I don't agree with the stereotype.
I like doing laundry.
I don't agree with the stereotypes where a woman only have to cook, because you may cook better than the wife, or you might do different things better than the wife, and she may do things better than you. And I don't think it should be a stereotypical rule where the wife cooks.
That's interesting coming from a male.
It's coming from a mature.
I don't think I've ever witnessed a man say.
No, I mean, if you're a mature person,
some men I know do everything. They'll say, you know what? I feel like the wife in this relationship. I know men who do that. They do school pickups. They cook. They clean. They make sure they do homework. They're like doing all the stuff that's typically called the wife stuff. You know, they do that. And they don't seem to get appreciated either.
Well, see, there you go. But I think another thing that frustrates women, and tell me if I'm wrong, is how I had, before the show started, I had women, they wanted me to mention this, that they tend to get frustrated with their partner by having the same argument they feel over and over. Like, they would tell their husband, listen, I need you to take the garbage out.
Information.
Yeah.
Like, and my answer to that would be, you have to sometimes walk it. You got to walk it through like a child. I mean, like,
why?
No, I'm not. It goes back to. Sometimes you just need to be deliberate with your relaying that message. Listen, honey, on Thursdays I need you to take this garbage out. And men are extremely practical and logical. Okay, Thursday I can take the garbage out, but. Most men don't read. We don't. No men. We don't read minds.
Y'all don't read between the lines.
We don't. Yeah, just be straight up and direct and tell a man what you want. And most times they'll do it.
You know what I think is funny? Like, when you need stuff done around the house, right? And you'll say, well, babe, this needs to be done. Or you'll say, well, boy, you really need to do this particular thing, right? And you'll be like, I could do it. I could deal with it because I was the man, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then that thing goes undone. Forever. And then you decide, because, you tired of seeing this thing undone, that you can get somebody else to do it.
He don't want you to do it.
Oh, my God. All hell breaks loose.
Because you go on and do that.
Yeah.
But I think also.
And he's gonna do it. He still gonna do it.
They see it as nagging when you
right.
That could cause a delay in all.
Honestly, there's some things that we have to repeatedly ask women to do.
Go ahead, let me hear that. What that is.
I would love to hear
really?
that. Yes.
you know that box we were referring to?
Yeah.
That
Close it.
That treasure box.
The deal breaker.
That deal breaker that we only get like as a doggy reward system or something.
Lord.
I think that if that is more frequent, I think it would be easier for a guy to find the energy and the wherewithal.
Why is that always the end all in a guy's mind? Why is that always it? Why is that always the end?
Listen, let's be real, okay? Your man liked you for you and your box. He works hard for you and your box. He goes out and he keeps his hair trimmed and he puts on nice clothes for you and your box.
I think we need to change that culture, though. I mean, where this mindset that men are doing this just for that particular.
That's what he's saying.
I know. I said we need to change that
yes,
culture because it shouldn't be that way.
And that's why women treat. I believe women on the outside, not you guys. I believe that's the way. That's why women treat y'all the way they do.
It shouldn't be a tool. It's not a tool.
It shouldn't be used as a weapon to. But the question I wanted to ask the females once again is, if a woman is complaining about sex with her husband, could it be that, I mean, you're saying she initially enjoyed it coming into the marriage, but now she's complaining about it? Could it be that there's other issues that's surrounding that? It's not necessarily the sex. It may be that he's not doing other things to please her. What do you guys feel about that?
Most definitely, because women are emotional creatures, and so if she is frustrated emotionally with you, then of course that is not going to be how you want it to be. The sex will not be.
It's going to be kind of. It's not going to be all of her. She's going
to withhold.
Right.
Have it.
Yeah.
No, that goes back to, I guess, his question, man. You saying, what he was saying about, if men, if she give them the box, but it may not even be that she don't want to do that. It's like you were saying, it may be other circumstances surrounding why she is not.
Absolutely, because if you're making me feel less than a person, or if you're making me feel like a maid, or you're making me feel like someone that I'm not, like I'm a nigger when I'm not really a nigger, then I'm starting to now disconnect from you emotionally, and you don't ever want that to happen on either side, men or women. And so when I start to disconnect emotionally, because the whole thing about the Pandora's box, whatever, since we're referring to it as the treasure box, thank you, Annie. All of that is connected. And I think for men are able to compartmentalize their box from everything else. And in some cases, their box is seen as different in the way that they use their box. So for them, it's like an expression of how they feel, or it's a release of pressure or whatever. But for women, we got to be connected to you to open up our true self to you in every single way. True intimacy, whether that's sexual or whatever. So if I'm not feeling you, don't touch me. That's why a woman would say that. Don't touch me because I into you. Let's fix the other things, and then we could get on to that.
So for that guy right now who's dealing with a frustrated wife and who don't want to help him out right now, I'm sure there's someone listening right now, a husband or potential husband right now dealing with this issue. Women, how would you help?
From a sexual point, are we talking about the box?
I guess to get that particular reward more. How would you?
It's not a reward. I mean, it's not a reward. We have to stop thinking about it like that.
Not a reward, but get that particular satisfaction.
My Lord, poor man.
Simple. Deal with the issues. I'm sure you know what issues you have. Deal with them.
Yeah, and I think you need to be real. You need to be real with yourself and identify with what your issues are. You have to really sit down and scale back and say, what is wrong with me? Why is my wife constantly down my throat? Is she just a nigger, or is it that I have contributed to her being the type of person that she is?
I think women tend to have this culture of training their men how to communicate with them. What I mean by that is, like, for instance, if you go in the store and you ask me how I look in this dress, I don't think most women don't really want that right answer. If
I really do want an answer.
I do.
really do.
You might get upset with me. Hold on, but if you might get upset with me if I say, buddy, you're that guy.
No, I'll be upset with you. You tell me it looks good, and then I
go out there and look bad.
I prefer you to be honest.
So a woman can handle honesty then.
Of course.
What do you think about that?
You look scared like what?
No. I'll tell you like this, right?
Be honest. You know,
I don't know many men who would tell their women she looks stinking outfit. I am one of them. I would tell you don't look good. No, I would just say you do not look. It does not compliment you.
Yes, say that.
However, you can say that.
However, you know what I'm saying? Let's go get something different.
The delivery could be different.
Yeah, because it's nothing. You can sensationalize. Be like, you know what? You know that outfit does not deserve to be on your body.
You see now, something like that, I would rip it off and open the box wide. Right?
That's all we need.
So we have a WhatsApp a texter that wants to be observed as anonymous. So we're gonna honor that. She says a deal breaker for me is cheating. And I can't see past it. So when my husband cheated a few months back, finding it in me to forgive him and love him the same way has been the hardest task. I tried very hard and I prayed for the strength, but I think in my heart, the marriage is over. Sex is even a turn off for me now. I see him as the enemy and not my friend. I can't open up to him at all.
Yeah.
Wow, Abico, can you understand how a woman can completely lose interest in a man that has emotionally scarred her and how she could struggle? We're going to answer that question after this break, but how she could struggle to find those feelings again in another man. We're going to take a break. Don't even go to the bathroom. You don't want to miss anything that's coming up next. More relationship talk in just a moment when SLYTalk on 194 returns.
It's another 494 Summer of Fun, and Buddy Hield basketball is back.
Than ever.
Coming off his record-setting rookie season in the National Basketball Association this coming July 28th and 29th. Welcome Buddy and his friends as he hosts his annual basketball summer workshop at the Sir Kendall J. Isaacs Gymnasium in Nassau.
How's it go? This is Buddy Hield, a.k.a. Buddy Bucket.
Parents, sign up your girls and boys.
I personally would like to invite all the kids between ages 10 to 16. Looking forward you guys to be there. Part 2 to the world.
For more information on this exciting opportunity, email us at buddyhieldbsw@gmail.com or download the More 94 app for more information. Buddy Hield, basketball is back. He's back. Real Talk Live has dominated the talk show scene for more than 10 years. Legacy continues, bringing a fresh perspective, objective views and opinions, thought-provoking and insightful real talk.
Listen, you can't see the vision of a new leader if you don't give him the chance to show you the vision.
Professor Rudy Tinker.
I'll be your host
Every week.
weekdays from 10 to 12. Call and call you live.
Good morning, Professor Tinker.
What you saying, brother?
Man, welcome home.
Professor Rudy Tinker is on More 94.
Parliamentary Act of 1991. You tell me 1991 today has been like 20-something years and ain't nobody put some glasses on and reread this thing over and say this don't make no sense?
Oh, try something new, man. You got these young fellas there, these young little snappers. You holding them back with these old farts, man. Throw them out to the yard with the rest. You guys are awesome. I really like you.
Entertainment is on More.
More entertainment is on More 94.
Hot like fire.
Want to ask a question or contribute to today's show? The numbers to dial are 341-6673 or toll free 1-242-300-6673. WhatsApp a message at 816-8187. We are back. Remember the number to dial if you want to call in is 341-6673 or feel free to WhatsApp us at 816-8187. Hubbies, the things you need to take mental note of to be a better husband to your wife. Before we left, we got some feedback from one of our texters on WhatsApp that indicated that she wants to be remain anonymous. We're just going to read what she said again. She said a deal breaker for her is cheating and she can't see past it. So when her husband cheated a few months back, finding it in her to forgive him and love him the same has been a hard task, and she's tried very hard and prayed for strength, but she thinks the marriage is over. Sex is a turn off for her now, and she sees him as the enemy and not her friend anymore. She can't connect for some strange reason. And I wanted to ask Abigail, can you understand how a woman that's emotionally scarred can struggle to find her feelings for the man she's with again?
Listen, if you're talking as it relates to a marriage,
yes,
that's betrayal. I mean, that's when you initially got married. There are certain vows you said in front of man and before God, and to me, that's the ultimate betrayal, in my opinion. So, if someone you loved and you put your life into their hands, and if they could go and do that, you know, they broke a covenant, in my opinion, and to me is an ultimate betrayal. So it's not easy, and that's one of the reasons why you could get a divorce in the Bahamas as well. I mean, adultery. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can understand where she's coming from, because, you know, taking it from a male perspective, if you cheat on me, most men usually they don't accept that. They ain't taking you back. So I cannot expect a woman to do the same. So I could understand where she's coming from. But
she sounds like she's completely, from a mental stance, she's exhausted.
But to me, one of the solutions, or what I would try to do, is if you really want to stay with that marriage, is try to seek out counseling, try to communicate, and find the reasons why you cheated. Because usually you can't. I see a lot of women, they tend to forgive.
But let
me finish. A lot of women tend to forgive, or you know, if the guy comes back crying and snotting up himself, crying, and you know, a lot of women tend to forgive, but don't find the reasons why you cheated in the first place. And if that could happen again, if you don't find out why you cheated, that it may duplicate itself again, and you'll say, "Oh, I just forgive you for this," but you never knew what was the reason why he cheated.
But what if he says that you were the reason, you being the
female? But then you guys gotta sit down and discuss what's causing me to at the end of the day, I think it still boils down to choice, but you need to. I agree. You may have to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing to cause this marriage to go this way?
I think that's really important, because as a part of this whole Good Man campaign that I do, a lot of men will say that women don't listen to them and their needs. Mm-hmm. And I've really seen that to be true. When we have our male panel events, is that women sometimes have a block and they assume that they know what men are thinking and what men are feeling. Mm-hmm. Or that they assume, or they assume they don't have feelings at all. That they're just these drones that go out and work and provide, and that they don't have emotional needs the same way. Men are emotional too. Right. They're just not driven by their emotions the way women tend to be. So for me, in her situation, it's very hard. It's hard, but it is doable to bounce back from infidelity. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, it brings to mind this quote that says, the best apology is changed behavior. So for me, that's a good one. I'm telling you, I love it. The best apology is changed behavior. So if you keep saying you're sorry over and over and over, but you keep doing the same thing, right. So I forgive you. I pull everything inside me to say, okay, let's move on. I'm going to try to forget it. I'm going to try to forget the images of you making love to another woman when that was supposed to be sacred and between us. I'm going to try to get past all of that stuff, and I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to open up my life to you again, and then you do it again and again and again and again.
It's
hard. It's hard. You're sorry.
I guess it's hard for him to learn, I guess.
I mean, but like Abaco did say, though, a lot of people don't ever get to the bottom of why men cheat. And a lot of reasons, I mean, we don't thrive off the emotional part of it. We cheat for physical reasons. So a lot of women neglect men. They just don't know where they neglect us. You may give us some things, but you may not be giving us what it is we require. And we just require respect for the most part.
I would love to thank my panelists, Annie, Simone, Terrio, Abaco, for being a part of the show. You are absolutely the best, and I'm sure someone out there identifies with your stance today. Let's face it, fellas. Marriage is not easy, but it can be easier if you put fires out before they start. Be proactive instead of reactive. Connect with the storylines left behind by the great Shakespeare and animations such as Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. You may think your wife is being needy or asking for a lot, but do yourself one smidget of justice. Sit down with a pen and paper and be practical by writing down the things she does to be a helpmate to you. And then ask yourself, is she worth the extra effort. Never make it easy for a man to come and swoop your woman off her feet with a simple, "You're beautiful," or "You smell amazing." She should feel that way before she leaves home because you've identified it for her. Be the Prince Charming that whisked her off her feet in the first instance. Don't make being a wife a chore for her. She should love catering to you because you love treating her like a queen. Don't forget the standard that she holds you by. The standard that she holds you by is set by you. It's what she knows to be the best she has ever had, which is why she married you. So when you pull back, she will always feel she's missing something. Remember the very true saying, a happy wife is a happy life. And women, talk to your men. Don't expect that they know, although they should. Until next time, people, love hard. I'm your girl Sly, and this is SLYTalk. Like what you heard here today and want to be a part of the steamy conversation discussed here on SLYTalk? Like us, follow us, and join the conversation on Facebook or on Instagram at SLYTalk. Also, visit the SLYTalk YouTube page for today's show and previous SLYTalk episodes. Never miss another show.
More entertainment is on More 94.